Good evening. Thank you all for coming out. We want to tell you about an incident that started at a local boat ramp very close to where we are about 6 o'clock this evening. And Chief Parker is going to give you the details of the investigation so far. Chief.
Thank you, Sheriff. So good evening. Like the Sheriff said, tonight at just about 6 o'clock p.m. over at the Dutton Island Preserve boat ramp, there was a couple here. They're out of town from Georgia. They were just down here fishing. And I guess what they do on their days off, they pick different places to go fish. They fished this area quite a few times, but never this particular spot. So they're over there today, and while they're fishing, they start hearing gunshots. So they look roughly 100, 150 yards away, and our suspect from tonight's incident is down kind of across the water from them, shooting a rifle into the water. So the male victim, the male husband, he goes over to talk to him and say, hey, what's going on? Is everything all right, kind of thing? And the guy points a gun at him. So he says, hey, look, I'm not looking for any trouble. We just want to make sure everything's all right. As he's trying to walk away, the suspect says something along the lines of, I know you guys you already called the police. The only way they're getting me out of here is dead. So as the victim continues to walk away, he hears more gunshots. And then he realizes the pier next to him, like at his feet, it's splintering. A lot of the shots are hitting the wood at his feet and splintered up. So he turns around and the guy stops shooting and they start talking again. During that conversation, it kind of de-escalates, and the victim says, hey, I'm thirsty, do you have any water? They say, we don't have any water, but we got some Gatorade. So the wife brings the Gatorade over, and as the male victim goes to hand the Gatorade to him, the suspect points the rifle up at his head. So he grabs the gun, they fight over the gun, they go down to the ground, and the victim in this ends up on top of the suspect holding the gun, and he kind of pointed it and he emptied the magazine. He just squeezed the rounds out to get rid of the rest of the rounds that were live inside. He then throws the rifle away. They get back to their car. The suspect leaves. They get back to their car. They think he's gone. So as they're leaving, trying to work their way out of the neighborhood to leave, he turns around. He's up ahead of them in his truck. He turns around and comes at him, barreling at him head on. They steer to the right to miss him, and they kind of sideswipe. It's his driver's side strikes their right rear driver's side, so they kind of veer off. He continues on, and when they get to the front of the neighborhood out here to Mayport Road, they realize when he left that scene, he went out and he hit another vehicle, totally uninvolved, the vehicle just driving down Mayport. He hit that vehicle out here on Mayport, crosses over where he stops, where he kind of runs up into some bushes and a pole, and that's where he came to final rest in the vehicle. The officers all respond to that spot, and they negotiate. That was at approximately 6:05 p.m. where he crashed on the other side. They were there talking to him until 7:33, back and forth, trying to give him multiple commands. Come out, put your hands up. There's a lot of stuff in the vehicle with him, so he's kind of like almost barricading the back window, blocking stuff. At one point, he puts the window down. They said, well, come out of the window, because he acted like he couldn't get out the door. He puts the window back up. The door is cracked open, so they can see him pretty well, and they keep talking to him, like I said, for an hour and a half. Toward the end, they see him. He picks up a rifle case, and he either opened it or he's already opened it or whatever, and he's reaching into it. The officers then engaged him. We had 9 shooting officers that engaged him at that point. He did not survive the injuries. So, like I said, the 9 officers involved, you guys have already provided the information, so you have all that with the proper spellings and everything. He did not survive his injuries. This was our 14th officer-involved shooting of the year. The state attorney's on scene doing their investigation, and with that, I can tell you the suspect, we haven't made it next to kin notification yet, so all I can tell you at this point is it's a white male, 37 years of age. And with that, we can take a few questions.
Does the suspect have a prior history?
So all we found so far, this is still what they're looking into, all we found so far is just traffic infractions and criminal mischief. That's all we found so far.
How long is this scene going to be going on for? I know we saw multiple areas that were blocked off when we were trying to get here.
Right. Well, they start big, right? Because we got to get all the evidence. It's going to take a while to collect everything, and you'll see it get smaller as they work through it. They'll be over there as long as it takes to get what they need. So I can't give you an estimate. It'll be a while.
What kind of rifle was used exactly?
I haven't seen the rifle. So we heard it was like an AR-15, but that's what the victim described it as. So I don't know how accurate that is.
Couple wasn't injured at all.
Doesn't sound like it at this point, no.
Okay.
Pretty shaken up.
I spoke to them. They're very shaken up, but they're not injured at this point. Just of course, as naturally, you're going to be upset. You're going to be nervous, probably a little shaken up, scared. They seem to be in pretty good spirits when they were leaving.
The other car that was involved, are they okay as well? Any injuries?
I haven't heard. I think they were checked out, but I don't know if they were transported or not. So it's the vehicle out of the intersection. It was a good impact, so I'm sure they'll get checked out for sure.
Thank you, Sheriff.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.